Hey, welcome back. It's Josh here. Today, Buckeye Saturday. I'm wearing my new favorite Christmas present, my 7-0. That's the Urban Meyer winning streak against Michigan. Go Bucks. Today we're playing Clemson. I'm getting ready to smoke my favorite salmon recipe. It's so good. I've had a lot of friends and family actually go buy a smoker specifically to make this recipe. And no, it's not my own recipe. I get it out of a book called Smoke and Spice that I bought on Amazon. Big shout out to my buddy Troy down in North Carolina who turned me on to this book. It's what I go to for all of my smoking recipes right now. But it's called Simply Superb Salmon. And it's simple and it's superb. So we're going to take you from beginning to end here. The salmon, I get this particular salmon was a 4-pound fillet from Costco, and cut it in half. I take it out 30 minutes ahead of the time that I'm going to put it in the smoker, let it get up to room temperature. Aggressively salt it. I use a pink sea salt that I aggress very heavily on each side. I've got a little bit of a clip here that'll show you how aggressive on that. Get the first sides, let it soak in, flip it, get the second side, and let it soak in as it comes up to room temperature. I think the trick and the key to the flavor here comes in two things. One is the mop, which is the mixture that we're going to put on before, during, and after, right before we eat it. And the second thing is the wood chips. So I'm going to start with the wood chips first because we're going to get them in the smoker here and get them started. Then we'll add our mop and get going. So this little device here, it says Outset. I bought it quite a while ago on Amazon. I think it was about 14 bucks. I love this thing. So when I use real wood chips in my Brinkman smoker here, it's a propane smoker. I've got to soak my wood chips so they don't burn up too fast. Make sure that they give me plenty of smoke. What this does is it's got a screw top that goes down on the inside. These chips have been soaking for probably about an hour now. And this screw top, you put your chips in, you screw it down, you fill it with water. Keeps your chips submerged so that they can soak up the water. Sometimes if I have more time and get a little bit more thought in, I'll do this the night before to get them good and wet. But usually a half hour, an hour is good enough to get them good and smoking. So as I mentioned, I'm using a Brinkman propane smoker. I've got a Bradley electric as well. Holds the temperature a little bit better. But today we're going to use the Brinkman. I've had this probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Bought it at Home Depot for 125 bucks. Works great. So I take my wet wood chips, put them in my wood chip pan, and those are going to go right into to the bottom of the smoker here. And I've got a water pan in there as well that I'm going to use just to keep it moist in there. We're up to 300 right now. Need to let that heat up, drop down a little bit. I'll try to smoke around 220 for about probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to get it good. But I like sushi, so if it's a little bit undercooked, I'm fine with that. If it's a little bit over, it's still delicious. All right, so I mentioned the mop. So the mop is pretty simple as well. Use 3/4 cup of chicken stock. You can use a bouillon cube if you need to with 3/4 cups of water. You use a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter because there's a lot of salt already on the fillets. 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon. I just had 2 large lemons. That was more than enough. If you got smaller ones, sometimes it'll take 3. Also 2 tablespoons of chopped onion. I just use a sweet Valdelia onion. And then 1.5 teaspoons of yellow mustard and 1.5 teaspoons of Worcester. So heat that up on the stove, melt it down, and then you could brush it on, but I actually like to put on a little bit thicker. And because of the diced up onion, I like those to stay on there as well. So I'm just going to drizzle it on. I got it on a cookie sheet here. You can see it going on there. And as I mentioned, we're going to put it on before we start the smoking process, and then we're going to put it on during and then at the end. So let's go ahead and put that in the smoker here. I'm going to put this one towards the top because it's thinner than the other one. I'm not positive that that's actually going to be the right one. Maybe I should put it at the bottom. If you know the answer to that, feel free to comment below and let me know. I haven't done it enough times to prove myself right or wrong, but it sounds logical. Let the heat closest to the heat hit the thickest one. So just spreading this on liberally. There's enough left here that I can do it again in the middle of the smoking. So we're going to put that in. And my grates are a little bit bent from the time they've been in use. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. We'll come back and check it. But like I said, I want to get that closer to 200 or so. And we'll check back later once we're ready to eat it, or actually mid-cycle, so we can put some more of the mop on it. I'll just pour it right in on top there, and we'll be good to go in about 2 hours. So it's been about 10 minutes. I came out to check it. Temperature's still running a little high. So I just cranked it down a little bit, but you can see the smoke there. This Applewood is a real mild smoke. I also use alder. Those are my two favorites. And maple. The one thing they say about smoking fish is it's best to use mild woods. So I stay away from the hickory and the mesquite. Okay, we're about halfway through the smoking process. I'm back out here now. You can see that the smoke has, all the chips have burned up. I forgot to put my mop. I usually put it on top of the smoker to keep it nice and melted, and I forgot to do that. So it's a little coagulated. I think I'm probably a little more than halfway through, so we'll come back here in about 20 minutes, check on it. But it's looking pretty damn good right now. Okay, it's been an hour and a half, ready to take the salmon off. I've got the mop sitting on top of the grill, as I mentioned last time. Instead of it being all coagulated, it's nice and melted again. So it'll go on easy on the final pour here. We'll go ahead and turn the smoker off. Open it up. Salmon's looking really good. Turn off the gas real quick, just so I don't forget. Don't forget your hot pad. So pulling the salmon out here. I'm going to set it right here for now. Second piece. Last time I did this, we did check the internal temperature, but with the propane one, I know for sure that it's cooking all the way through. With the electric one, I like to use the internal temperature on the thermometer, just to make sure. As I mentioned, I'll eat it raw, so no big deal. I'm going to take one more pour of this. Just put it over there for the final piece of the mop here. That just adds some really good flavor. And we're going to take it upstairs, let it cool a little bit, and then show you how I like to prepare it to eat. So, see you upstairs. Okay, we're back. I've got the salmon is all prepared and ready. Got some crackers set out. The extra lemons that I had, always good to have extra lemons. You saw me put all of the mop on here. It's good to put a little bit of a lemon on as well, and that will help bring out more of the flavor. Lemon's always a positive on the salmon. The other favorite thing that I have is Creme Fraiche, and you can see how that's spelled. Looks like it says Creme Fraiche. That's Creme Fraiche. Hard to find in the stores, but your Kroger's, your Giant Eagles, most of your grocery stores will carry it. It's either going to be with the sour cream, or you're going to find it in the imported cheeses. So few people know about it. It's kind of hard to find, but it's a really delicious type of sour cream that I love to put on top of the salmon. So I just take small pieces of the salmon off. I've got different types of crackers here. I've got multi-grain. I think these are rosemary crackers, and then just a plain rich cracker is quite good as well. When you get the creme fraiche, you just need to stir it up, whip it up. It'll get a lot smoother, and then just drop it on. And you can definitely do some really nice presentation of these if you've got guests coming over. The other good fresh herb to put on here is dill. I just didn't have any here. Take a little fresh dill sprig and put it on each one of these. But they're excellent, and I like to wash it down with a good beer. Right now I'm drinking Sam Adams Cold Snap White Ale. I don't know why I hadn't heard of it before, but it's delicious. So let's try it here. That's good stuff. So Simply Superb Salmon. Stick around. I'll show you all the ingredients here at the end of the video. Cheers.